So what is going on YouTube? This is Sam from TeamSamuraiX1 here, and today guys I am coming at you with a YGOPro dual commentary slash replay for you guys today. And this YGOPro dual replay is going to be based off the new archetype called the CRYSTRON archetype that's going to be coming out in the Invasion of Venom set. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Before I showcase you guys the replay, let me go off into the basis on what CRYSTRON basically does and how the deck basically works. So without further ado, let's get started. And this is not a deck profile, guys. I'm not trying to showcase you guys the deck profile. If you guys want to see the deck profile, I am still working on the deck. I haven't really found the most consistent build yet because you know what, there's still a lot of cards missing, especially for this deck. So you know, but for now I have some amazing replays that I'm gonna be showcasing you guys. And before I get started with that, let me explain to you guys on some of the cards and what they do with the deck. So basically, you have of course the red guys, you know, the purple, the white, and the green. Basically, these four monsters basically have the same primary effect, where they basically pop a face-up card in the field to special summon a tuner monster from the deck. And you know, the tuner monster are the CRYSTRON CRYSTRON and the CRYSTRON YUGIOH. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering its name, but these two cards are the main tuners of the deck. So you basically pop cards on the field to special summon the tuner from the deck, and during your opponent's turn, these card activates. You can either the CRYSTRON basically says that you can synchro summon, you can special summon one monster, one non-tuner monster from your graveyard, and immediately after that card is special summon, synchro summoned a machine monster from your extra deck, which is very nice. And it's same purpose with the YGOPro, but YGOPro uses the monsters from your hand to synchro summon during your opponent's turn, which is absolutely phenomenal. So you know, the fact that this deck can basically synchro summon on your opponent's turn to interrupt a lot of combo plays is very nice. So this deck basically revolves around synchro summoning during your opponent's turn, and you can interrupt a lot of combo plays with these new CRYSTRON monsters. And you know what, but these four cards right here have different secondary effects. The secondary effects all require them as a cost to banish themselves from the graveyard to activate their effect. So basically, CRYSTRON Resonate says you banish this card from the graveyard to special summon a CRYSTRON token, level 1 token to your side of the field. And this card basically says you can banish this card from the graveyard to add a CRYSTRON monster to your hand. And this card, you can banish the Smogger from your graveyard to add a CRYSTRON spell and trap card from your deck to your hand. But at this point, you guys can see there is no CRYSTRON spell and trap cards being released right now, so the deck isn't completed, and it's not at the highest peak of consistency because we do not have any spell and trap cards released. I'm pretty sure if the release of the spell and trap cards, I'm gonna be coming back with another YGOPro dual replay. But as of now, this deck can make insane synchro plays with these cards right here, already with the cards that are already given. But I felt like the spell and trap cards already be coming out are gonna make the deck more consistent. But that's just my personal opinion. So this card basically does nothing right now, and it's just used as another level 3 fodder in the deck to make this card right here. And next you got the tutor monsters that you can tutor out with these cards right here, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I really hope you guys understand the basis of the deck. So basically what you do is you pop cards to special summon the tuner, and you activate tuners to either synchro summon from the hand or synchro summon from the grave, and then you basically just synchro during your opponent's turn. So it's like you're basically playing formula on your opponent's turn, which is very nice. And also you got the extra deck, which is CRYSTRON Phoenixian, which is one of the best extra deck cards for this deck right now. CRYSTRON Phoenixian is a generic level 9 synchro monster, which is very cool. And the effect is that if this card is synchro summon, you can banish all spell and trap cards your opponent controls and in their graveyard. So cards like Fogblade, Wings, and all those cards that revolve around the graveyard, all those spell and trap cards that revolve around the graveyard will be banished instead of getting destroyed, which is absolutely phenomenal. And if this card is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can special summon a CRYSTRON monster, any monster basically, any other monster from your graveyard, which is absolutely amazing. And you guys already see the synergy. What if you pop Rosenix and you activate Rosenix to pop this to bring out a tutor monster from the deck, and then you activate Phoenixian to bring out another monster from the graveyard? So the amount of combo plays that you can do with this deck is absolutely phenomenal. Same goes for a Matrix. A Matrix basically says that it's a level 5 synchro monster, and if special summon, you basically change all face-up attack position monster to defense position, which is very cool. So that's what I really like about a Matrix. And when a Matrix gets destroyed by battle by card effect, you can special summon a monster from your graveyard, any monster except for synchro monsters. And same goes for Quandam. And Quandam actually is one of the main key combo pieces, especially combo out during your opponent's turn. And this card basically helps you make this into a Phoenixian. This card basically basically helps you synchro summon during your opponent's turn. It's a level 4 synchro tutor monster, which is absolutely phenomenal. And if this card is destroyed, you can target one Crystron monster in your graveyard, and except for a synchro monster, and special summon it, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I really hope you guys can understand the basics of the deck. And some amazing cards that work really well when getting destroyed, other than themselves, are Gear Town. And Gear Town can tutor out either the Chimera or the Gagatron Dragon to help you make into crazy, insane Karakuri plays with this deck. So without further ado, guys, let's get started with the replay. As I said before, guys, if you guys slap this video with 200 plus likes for the deck profile, I know you guys can do it. We're at 29,000 subscribers. We're almost at road to 30,000 subscribers, which is absolutely phenomenal. So without further ado, let's get started with the replays. During the replays, I'm not going to explain too much. I'll explain some cards that you guys can combo off with, but I'll just basically let you guys enjoy the replay. So without further ado, let's get started with this YGOPro dual commentary replay. Up with the first replay in my hand is Brilliant Fusion, Machine Duplication, which is very good in the deck because this card is 500 attack, and you also have the tuners, which are 500 attack as well. So Machine Dupe is really it works well in this deck, especially with Brilliant Fusion as well. Brilliant Fusion helps you double normal summons, so you're able to get full advantage of your CRYSTRON monster's effects. So you know what, I'll let you guys watch the replay on the amazing stuff that I can do with this. So I am facing against PK, you know, Seraphinite, the basic shenanigans, and what I'm trying to do right now at most is try to set up my synchro plays so I can basically go off during my opponent's turn. So I basically special summon everything. I go into Matrix, Rosenix will pop this to bring out the level 2 from the deck, then I'll go into the Kendama. So this is my board right here. Always, especially during your turn, you want to at least keep a CRYSTRON monster, a CRYSTRON tutor monster on the field, especially a CRYSTRON Citri, because you're able to make crazy synchro plays during your opponent's turn, especially with this card. And at this point, I already fueled my graveyard with a lot of monsters such as, you know, the Presonator and things like that, which is very cool. So you just watch the replay, guys. You know, basic shenanigans with Twin Twister and, you know, the PK plays. He goes in Dante. Dante will mill 3 cards. His mill wasn't that great. He milled a tour guide and he sets the 3 back row. Then activate the Citri's effect to special summon the Presonator. And immediately once Presonator is special summoned, you have to synchro summon into Machine Monster because that's what the tuner monster reads. I'm gonna special summon the Quandam, and Quandam is a tuner, and now he's gonna enter battle phase. And Quandam is gonna activate its Formula Synchron effect to special summon the CRYSTRON Phoenixian. And this is what you guys can see by the amount of crazy heavy storm play that I just did is just phenomenal. So basically I draw into another CRYSTRON monster, basically do the basic shenanigans with this deck, try to set up my plays for next turn. At this point I can basically synchro summon into a Matrix next turn with this card, so which is pretty cool. At this point he just ends up scooping and he has no other plays that he could do. So that's pretty much it off for the first replay. Let's go off into our second replay. So this second replay is a very insane replay, guys, especially with the terraforming in Gear Town. I'll let you guys watch this. The Causal player did brick, which is pretty sad. I went up Brilliant Fusion again. So this is kind of like a brilliant, what is it called? A brilliant, Brilliant CRYSTRONs, very consistent. I go into Gear Town, CRYSTRON, Rosenix, especially if you open up with, what is it called? If you open up with a Brilliant Fusion in Gear Town and any CRYSTRON monster, you pretty much have game legit. And I'm telling you guys right now, as I said before, this deck isn't at the highest peak of consistency, but as I said now, this deck is very fun to play. And I'm not saying this deck is like the best deck ever and it's like the most consistent deck, because it is not, because we don't have all the cards announced yet. So I go into Beret, Beredo, draw 1 card, go into Beret. Beret special summon, of course, the strategist, switch into Trick Counter Attack, go into Dark Strike Fighter, summon the Rosenix. What I could have done here was, you know, activate Rosenix's effect to pop the Seraphinite to bring out a tuner monster, and then synchro summon it to Kendama. But I decided to go for style points and activate Dark Strike Fighter to deal 1400 damage to the face. So that's pretty much it for amazing, crazy CRYSTRON replay for you guys today. Crazy OTK with the Karakuri engine and with the Gear Town engine as well. So that's pretty much it for the second replay. Let's go off into our third replay. Alright guys, so the third replay I'm going to be facing against Magic Spectre Demise, and you know, the board he opened up is pretty decent, and he does have crazy insane back rolls. And the hand that I opened up is not, it's okay, but I did break the Garnet, which is very unfortunate. But I do have the Machine Dupe and the Transmodify. Transmodify is really good in this deck because it fuels your graveyard, so you don't even, so you can save the Triburns effect, if you save the Presonator's effect. save the banish effect, because they can basically only use their effect once per turn, which is it's not like they can use both effects. You can only use both effects once per turn, and you can only use one effect once per turn, which is it sucks. But but that's okay. I did open up machine duplication. You guys can see this board. Although that it required me like literally my whole hand to use this, it's just really cool that you're able to go into the heavy storm dude, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I go into a matrix, into Quadam, and I just go into Phoenixian, banish everything, which is absolutely phenomenal. And at this point, I believe he just scoops here. Yeah, he just scoops here, and that's pretty much it for our third replay. Let's go off into our fourth replay. Okay, so for the fourth replay, it's a kind of similar hand, but you know what? I'm gonna show you guys the Kandama instead of me going to what is it called, the Rosa trick plays and things like that. So I'm actually gonna try and extend as much as possible on my single summon. So he activates reasoning. I decided to call 8 because I thought it was monarchs. Reasoning, he goes out, he calls 8, but he is playing Infernoids. He milled like 14 cards. Just watch his board, guys. So he goes Warrior Defender. This is very cool. The amount of crazy plays that Infernoids can do, which is absolutely phenomenal. I can say that this hand that he drew was the nut, I believe. So he go Crystal Wing, Raiden. I go Soul Charge to Thousand Eyes again, and that's pretty much it for his board. And for my turn, I drew into Upstart, and this is so funny. I Upstart to Regeki, which is very unfortunate on his side. So I go Brilliant Fusion. Just watch basically the same thing. The same Beret Karakuri play. So he goes Rosenix, I go Rosenix, basically pop a lot of cards. Go into Chimera, go into Beret, especially in the strategist. I draw a card, I drew it to Soul Charge. But you know what? I had to game him this turn. If I didn't game him this turn, I actually would have lost next turn, because look at his graveyard. His graveyard is insane. And I go into the Dama, and that's pretty much it. Now I just attack for game from there. So that's pretty much it for a 4-3 play, guys. The amount of crazy, insane combo plays that you can do with this deck, especially with Brilliant Fusion, is very good. So you know what? Brilliant Fusion actually breaks this deck, in my personal opinion. So that's pretty much it for a 4-3 play. Let's go off into our 5th replay. Alright, guys, so for this 5th replay, I decided to incorporate a Yangzing engine into this deck, because I thought to myself, Yangzing Creation and Yangzings and CRYSTRON's popping effect can trigger off Yangzing, can trigger off Creation. So I was like, you know what? I might as well throw in some Yangzings over there and see how I'll do, and how I'll see this and how this engine would do. So I'm sorry, guys, in advance. Let me tell you guys right now, this version is slower than the previous version. Well, the previous version is kind of slow too, because if you didn't draw Brilliant Fusion, you basically cannot go off to your shenanigan combos. But this version is really slow because it requires you to have any Yangzing monster and a CRYSTRON popping monster in your hand for the next turn. And if you open up Creation, it's just absolutely phenomenal. I'm sorry, guys, in advance. I don't know why these pictures are not showing. And I'm facing against, I think ABCs are like, heavy mech support armor, Scramble Union. I'm facing against all these new Union archetypes. So I'll let you guys watch the replay. So my personal opinion, I feel like Yangzings can work really well with this deck, but the downside is that you cannot special summon any other monsters from your extra deck except for the machine monsters if you already used their effect. So I open up double Creation now, and Call the Haunted, which is very cool. So I pop the Jiao-Tu to bring out the Citri. Creation and Jiao-Tao is going to activate. Jiao-Tu, sorry. And now I go into this. The reason why I decided to do this is because what I wanted to do is I wanted to go into Baxia on my opponent's turn. So I left this board the way it is, with the Swanee on board and the Quandam on board, because at this point he's going to attack. I'm going to activate Quandam to go into Baxia to shuffle that card back. He goes into Unexpected Die, he goes XYZ Dragon. He goes into XYZ Dragon Cannon, pop a Baxia, chain Yangzing Creation again, and basically both Creation will trigger, and you guys can see by the amount of crazy shenanigans that I can do at this point. At this point, I already basically used all my Yangzing monsters in the deck. So the only things I have left is probably a Shuan in the deck, and probably a Chuan's in the deck. Yeah, so I go into a Matrix. A Matrix is going to switch to defense. I go into Phoenixian, banish every spawn trap card that he controls right now, and that's pretty much it. And now I'm just going to basically set one card. I'm just going to basically do damage, and I believe he ends up scooping from here. So I pop this into going into Queon, Yangzing Creation, and Swanee's going to activate. Bring out double Shuan. So I had no more targets in the deck, so I had to bring out double Shuan at this point, and I basically locked myself from going off at this point, and he just basically scoops from here, I believe. So I go into Solemn Warning at this point, stopping that this card right here, the Scramble Union. So that's pretty much it for the replay. Showcase you guys the Yangzing engine with with the CRYSTRON engine, which is absolutely phenomenal. So that's pretty much it for our last and final replay of me incorporating Yangtze engine into this deck. Let me know what you guys think about these amazing replays. If you guys want to see more YGOPro replays, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And as before, 200 plus likes for the deck profile will be absolutely amazing, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think about the new CRYSTRON archetype. Are you guys going to pick up this deck? Are you guys going to play this deck? And if you guys have an amazing list on what you guys can show me on CRYSTRON, make sure you guys send it to me on my Facebook page. I'd love to try it out, man. I love this archetype. The fact that you have a crazy heavy storm and the fact that you're able to synchro summon during your opponent's turn, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think, and happy Sunday. Today is a Sunday, and expect my upload from Monday tomorrow. And this is Sam from Team Sam signing out. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, peace!